بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. ربنا انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما. So we talked about obligations of wudu, the furud wudu, and there were 6. So it was an-niyyah, which is the intention, and ghusl al-wajh, so washing the face. And we said that you do the intention when you try to wash the beginning of the face, which is from the hairline. If you don't have a hairline, it's like where it's supposed to be. Even if your hairline is too much far or too close, it's where the average is until your chin. You have to go over it, go extra with your chin, and also from the right ear to the left ear. And then you do ghusl al-yadayn ma'a al-mirfaqayn, which is washing hands with your elbows, and you add the elbows and over it, and you go a little extra. And then ghusl masح شيء من الرأس, to wipe the head, and then ghusl al-rijlayn ma'a al-ka'bayn. Of course, you have to do the sunnah to wash the ears in between the head, wiping the head and the feet. So when you're washing the feet, you wash your legs from the bottom and with the ankles. It's good to go over it as sunnah by a lot, like half of your leg. So that's what we talked about. Now we're going to talk about the requirements for wudu. So that was obligations for wudu, like what to do in wudu. This is like who can do wudu. Not anybody can just do wudu. So we're going to talk about it right now. So it says the requirements of wudu. The requirements of wudu are 8 at Islam. The first one is you have to be a Muslim. So a non-Muslim can't just start doing wudu. It doesn't count. So the second thing is at-tamyiz. What's tamyiz? So usually they say it's like someone who can go to the washroom by themselves, eat by themselves, wear the clothes by themselves. Like kids, before they can do that, it's not like they don't meet the requirements to do wudu. So they have to have tamyiz. Usually it's like around age 7. That's what it is, yeah. وَالنَّقَاء عَنِ الْحَيْضِ وَالنِّفَاسِ. The third one is وَالنَّقَاء عَنِ الْحَيْضِ وَالنِّفَاسِ. So this is specific for women. So it's for women not to be on their period, and that's hayd. And nifas, also not to just have a baby. Like if a woman has a baby right away, they also can't do wudu, or not be. It's like there's a certain period, maybe like 40 days, 60 days. Some people have it different, but that's what it is. Yeah. So if they just had a baby, and that's they can't do wudu. So the first one is Islam. So they can't be a non-Muslim. Tamyiz, they can't be too young. They're not able to do wudu themselves. Naqa' al-hayd wal-nifas. This is the third one. Not to be on their period, women specifically, and not to have just had a baby. وَنَقَاءُ الْأَعْضَاءِ عَمَّا يَمْنَعُ وُصُولَ الْمَاءِ الْبَشَرَةِ. You can't have on your limbs that which prevents water from reaching it. That's what it basically means. وَنَقَاءُ الْأَعْضَاءِ عَمَّا يَمْنَعُ وُصُولَ الْمَاءِ الْبَشَرَةِ. So what does that mean? Like having a gum, or like some sort of tape, or whatever. It's just literally blocking the water from reaching it. So that the wudu is, you haven't met the requirements of wudu. You have to take that out first, then you can do wudu. Okay. وَلَا يَكُونَ عَلَى الْعُضْوِ مَا يُغَيِّرُ الْمَاءِ. And they can't be on the limbs, all of the limbs that you have to do for wudu. It's not every part of your body, just the limbs, the parts that are required for wudu. So your face, your hands, your head, your legs. So let's say your knees. If you have something on your knees, like some gum stuck there, it's all good. You can do wudu. Okay. So and you can have on your limbs that which changes the water. So what does that mean? Basically, like having some paint on your leg, having something like ink. So if you put water on it, the water is going to change its color. So that's not wudu. That doesn't meet the requirements for wudu. This is that you have makeup or whatever. And so this is وَالْعِلْمُ بِفَرْضِيَّتِهِ, and you have to know that washing these limbs and doing the wudu is fard. And you have to know it's obligatory. So if you think, let's just say wiping the head or washing the face or doing the intention is just sunnah, well, sunnah is a big deal. But like if you just think it's sunnah and you don't really think about it, you can't. It doesn't, like your wudu is not valid. Actually, there's this story about this guy who one time he married some lady, and he was actually an old guy. So what he did was he didn't paint. He used he dyed his hair black, so he looked like a young guy. And then afterwards they found out that he was an old man. So it was during Sayyidina Umar's time, and I think he was lashed. So yeah, you have to know that washing all the limbs is obligatory. Yeah. وَأَنَّا يَعْتَقِدَ فَرْضًا مِنْ فُرُوضِ السُنَّةِ. This is basically the same thing. So you have to know that washing these limbs are fard, are obligatory, and you have to not think that one of them are sunnah. One of it is sunnah. So if you think, let's say, washing your legs is sunnah, one day you might come with it, one day you might leave it. That's like one of the things. If you know it's fard, if you know it's obligatory, you're not gonna leave it. Even though sunnah is a very, very important thing. Like doing sunnah is, mashallah, it helps you get closer to Allah. It's a good thing to do as much as possible to try to emulate the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and it actually is a sign that you love him. Because anybody can say they love the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, but actions speak louder than words. So if you're doing these actions, if you're following the Prophet ﷺ, you will benefit. He's not going to benefit. You're going to benefit, and it's also going to be a sign that you do love him, and what he does matters to you. Because they say, إِنَّ الْمُحِبَّ لِمَنْ يُحِبُّ مُطِيعُ. The one who loves follows the one he loves. مُطِيعُ, yeah. So that's very important and crucial thing, yeah. هَيَّ وَالْمَاءُ الطُّهُورِ. The last thing is like having pure water. What is pure water? You ask. So let's just say, rainwater is pure. Water that's dug from the ground is pure. What's not pure water? Tea. Tea is not pure water. It's actually water with other things. Coffee, it's not pure water. Water that's been used for wudu. If you had some water that's a little bit, let's just say you have like a little container and you put it, you do wudu on top of it, and then there's water left. You can't use that water again. Yeah, but if you had water that someone just showered on, even though it's disgusting, but they showered on some water, showered with some water, it collected in some place, and used that water for wudu, you can do it. If it wasn't for wudu purposes or ghusl purposes, like Raf al-Hadath al-Akbar, I don't think it mentions Hadath al-Akbar here, but it's mentioned in Safinat al-Najah and higher level books. This is basically like when you have a wet dream, or a woman has her period, or intercourse and stuff like that. So that's when you have to take a shower and say Nawaitu Raf al-Hadath al-Akbar. I intend to take away from yourself the state of impurity, the big state of impurity. There's a small one, which is wudu. If someone breaks their wudu, it's like they're in a small state of impurity. But if someone breaks had a wet dream, or had intercourse, or had a period, they're in a big state of impurity. So they need to take a shower.